I'm going with you, whatever you want to do on this one. All right.
We're just talking nerdy Christmas stuff. It's a real easy peasy episode. Just having some fun laughs, and good times. Welcome everyone to the Average Intelligence Pod. I almost said down the middle. The Average Intelligence Podcast. I've joined once again by the effervescent, ever present, ever succulent Ben.
Is it because of the shirt? Is that why you almost said it?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what can I say? The shirt just adds to the attractiveness. Guys, girls, farm animals, whatever you fancy, they will look your way.
You had to say farm animals, huh? Hey guys.
Merry Christmas Eve, buddy.
Yes. Merry Christmas Eve.
That is the eve of Christmas Eve for the uninformed. So we were originally, I owe Ben one because we were originally gonna do TMNT, but then I just thought it's so close to Christmas, we'd kind of be foolish to not do a Christmas themed fun episode just to close out actually this won't be closing out the year. We've got one next week. That'll be the last one of the year. But and we're gonna what?
Is that the one where we're gonna do it?
No, because next week we're going to be giving our review because Eric will finally be free of the Rona. We're going to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. And then we'll be... I have high expectations. I hope I'm not disappointed because I don't want to say bad things about Spider-Man, but I will if it deserves it. But I don't think I'm going to from what I've been told.
Well, if hopefully I get to see it too, and hopefully I can join these guys on it with them and talk about it. If not,
you're welcome if you can see it before then. Or I mean, you're welcome to join, but we'll spoil it for you, I'm sure, if you haven't seen it already. Anyway,
you're right.
It's time for Christmas, so I want to start because, of course, it wouldn't be the Average Intelligence Podcast if we didn't throw in some obscure, nerdy stuff for the holidays. I know you're aware of this, but I think some people may not be aware of the, it's one of the Christmas specials, and you'll appreciate this. The original Power Rangers had a quirky little Christmas special called I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger, I believe.
Yes.
And
yes.
What's hilarious about that is when I was a kid, I don't remember, I think it was for Christmas, we got it on VHS, just that episode. And I remember not liking it because they don't morph in it.
No, I remember what episode you're talking about very vividly. And it was more about saving Santa and everything else.
Well, right, but now as an adult and knowing how Power Rangers was made, I understand why, because that was, if not completely, almost completely made over here.
Yes.
They didn't. Did they use any footage from Japan on that one?
Not for that one.
I was going to say I didn't think so, but it's still weird because they had the costumes. I wonder why they didn't. I don't know.
Well, to explain it more, we'd have to do a whole Power Rangers episode and everything to explain it more. But I can give you a brief little synopsis of the White Ranger costume was used for. Okay, over in Japan, they were called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's called Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Well, Mighty Morphin over there with the Tyrannosaurus and all that stuff, they were called Zoo Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the season that the White Ranger costume was on was called Die Ranger. Okay, but the costumes that they used over there for that season, they didn't use over here. They just kept using the same suits. And the reason being is because they saw toys and everything else, and everybody loved the same suits, that it would look weird if they keep changing suits on them over here compared to over there in Japan.
Right.
So that's why, like, when you see a lot of scenes with in that second season with the Zords and everything. It feels weird and looks weird, but they made it work to a degree over here.
See,
Now,
it's funny when you say they made it work because again, like I mentioned on I don't remember which podcast I mentioned on, but I've gone through and watched a couple episodes of the original Mighty Morphin again, and like as an adult, I'm watching it and I'm like, like they're reusing stuff left, right, and center, and that's obviously Japan, but as a kid, I didn't realize it.
Right, and that's the thing is none of us realized until we got older.
Also, finally, I know I'm late to the party on this one. I didn't click that the Yellow Ranger in Japan was a guy. Because I'm watching it and I'm like, Trini's got pecs. I'm like, oh, it's a dude.
Yep. Okay, I'll just throw this out there now. If you go through and watch when you start seeing the Green Ranger episodes, when Green Ranger is brought into it, you'll see the hint of Japanese footage with the Green Ranger, because you'll see the actual guy who plays the Green Ranger in that episode, but you'll see it's not Tommy.
Is it when she's talking about that the sword thing?
Well, that too, yes.
Yeah,
but like you actually see him, the actual Green Ranger rise up and set up. It's supposed to be Tommy setting up, but it's the actual Green Ranger from over Japan.
Oh yeah.
It's that footage they're using.
That's too funny.
Well, plus over in Japan though, it's in Power Rangers. They don't. Here it was more towards kids.
Yeah.
Over there it was more towards
older kids.
Well, it's more like teenager adult themed, because you hear them cussing in Power Rangers.
Well, I wouldn't say that it's aimed at adults per se. It's just that cursing in Japanese doesn't carry the same weight.
Well, right,
as it does over here.
All right, but would you want to hear a monster say, "I'm going to eat you" over here compared to over there?
Well, I mean, it depends because they're.
I'm just saying in general, like you wouldn't expect that.
Well,
a kid's show.
Yes and no, but because here's the thing: like over here, and it's gotten really bad as the years have gone by. But like we've just infantilized children here and insulted their intelligence at every turn. That's why children's programming, honestly, since probably the late 90s, has been progressively just getting dumber and dumber and dumber. And I'm not talking like preschool programming. I'm talking about stuff that's, aimed at like 6 to 12-year-olds.
Right.
Like it's getting bad.
But I've seen some of the stuff that even my child watches, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
like what?
I've seen some of these kids programs in passing, and I'm like, man, I grew up on like Gargoyles and Conan the Adventurer and Animaniacs that had like really covert humor.
Right.
Like Animaniacs is straight up like clever. Like it's brilliant writing. And I mean Batman the animated series, Spider-Man, X-Men, which was a code, at the time it was like teaching kids not to be bigots. And now we got Peppa Pig. It was like, I'm from England. The fuck?
And Dora the Explorer and all that stuff, yeah.
Okay, so Dora the Explorer I hate because I've seen it in passing, but I give it kind of a pass because it's not aimed at older kids. It's aimed at like preschoolers.
Oh, right, but it's also teaching kids how to like speak Spanish and everything else.
Have you seen the girl on TikTok who's like, "Hola, soy Dora. Can you say computadora?"
Actually, I have seen that.
And the people throw stuff at it. And then there's also Soy Hora, which is also funny. But it's Christmas. We're not going to go down that hole.
Well,
that was an unintentional pun. Anyway.
No. I will say this is one of the best Christmas. One of the best kids shows out there, though. Before we get back into Christmas, was Blue's Clues.
Oh, God, not you two.
I like Blue's Clues.
Do they think kids are just blind, stupid, or both? Where's the clue? It's right in front of you, dipshit. It's fucking right there. You're an adult. Come on!
Just saying.
I'm sorry. Blue's Clues frustrated me. My sister loved that show, which is weird because my sister was older than me. And she'd always watch that. She'd always watch that stupid fucking show. Sorry. Stupid show. And I'm just like, why? Why? Anyway.
Yes.
So, buddy, while we're on the subject of Christmas, because we've meandered on that long enough, like, I don't know, what are your favorite holiday traditions to watch?
Okay. Okay, like right now it's every year you have to watch they have to watch the specials every year for Christmas. Like
I stopped a long time ago because I don't like them anymore.
You don't like the Grinch?
I like the Jim Carrey one. I don't like any of the other ones.
There's the Jim Carrey one and there's the cartoon one that came out back in the...
What, you talking about the old one or the newest one that came out?
The old one.
It's all right. I don't get into it as much anymore. I love probably because the Jim Carrey one's so good.
Well, plus there's also the Charlie Brown Christmas and everything else. And
I don't watch it, but every time I watch, I don't watch it every year, but every time I do watch it, I remember how good it is.
Right. Okay. Plus there's the Christmas movies that's out there that you gotta watch. I'm a big Home Alone fan.
Oh, dude, I rewatched. So this year I did something kind of nerdy. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what's up. But I challenged myself to watch either a Christmas movie or some sort of Christmas special every day from December 1st to December 25th. And I rewatched Home Alone and Home Alone 2. They hold up so well.
Well, they do. And did you get the thing I sent you on Instagram?
Just now? I don't think I got the... I don't think I got the earlier. Latest. Oh, the one about Kevin McAllister being a...
Yes.
Yeah. And what's funny about that is he calls 911 towards the end of the film, so he knew. He knew what was up.
But it's funny is like you read that and it's like, that's messed up.
Well, no, so here's the thing. I don't think Kevin's psychotic, but I think he's either kind of dumb or really smart, because he either didn't think to call the police when he knew people were going to break into his house, or he was smart enough to understand that, listen, the cops aren't going to believe an 8-year-old kid saying that there are burglars going to come.
Right, but he could also tell them, hey, my family went on vacation and left me home alone.
Well, but they address that in the movie because his parents call the cops and they figure out that he's at home. But then remember, they send the cop there and then he does the thing with the mobster movie.
True.
But he didn't know I don't think he knew it was like... This is sad because I just watched it not that long ago. But he didn't know it was a cop, right?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so yeah, that... Because the cop's like, there's no kid here.
Yeah, because he does that to the cop. He does it to the... He does know it's the police guy, the pizza guy.
But he hides from the cop, and then he does it to the pizza guy.
Yeah, and he also does it to Marv.
Yeah. Well, when that happens to Marv. Oh, my God. I wish I could remember that actor's name, because there's a moment, like so many things, there's this random moment in the movie that...
Daniel Lloyd?
Yes, Daniel. Thank you. Hilarious. He was in a movie called Bushwhacked.
Yep.
A couple years. Oh, that movie's hilarious. But anyway, like... There's oftentimes like this random part in a TV episode or a movie that most people even miss them, but it just makes me laugh hysterically like a small child. And for me in Home Alone, it's when I don't remember exactly when it happens, but basically he's gotten down to the basement. I think it's when he's leaving, and then he shuts the door, and then he slips again. It just goes whoop.
Oh.
Dude, I laughed for minutes straight.
I was trying. Going back and looking at both of them, it's like, which one was worse? Which house was worse? The first one or the second one?
I gotta say the first one, because I gotta say the first one, because they didn't see any of that coming in the first one. In the second one, they had an idea. Like they knew it wasn't going to be easy. Although the paint shelf thing in the second one, I'm sorry, that just looked awfully painful.
Especially when they are arguing back and forth and everything from on top, and he throws the bricks down and everything. He's like, bling, like, oh, you're done. I will say this though, even though I'm a fan of the Home Alone movies, I stopped after 2.
Yeah, because they're garbage after that.
I saw the third one. I'm like,
no, the third one's garbage. The third one's trash.
Right, and I'm like, no.
And I guess there's a new one coming out, but here's the thing: you can't make Home Alone today because you've got internet and cell phones. Like, there's an infinite number of ways to get in contact with someone. Hell, if you've got a smart device, you can talk through those.
It's the 6th movie.
6th?
Yes.
I only knew about 3.
Yeah, they've made 3 others since then.
Why?
This is the new.
Jeez, I thought The Land Before Time was ridiculous.
Hey, I like Land Before Time.
I love the first one. The first one's cinema masterpiece.
It stopped. I stopped liking it after the 4th one.
I think that's when I stopped. I mean, like, some of the sequels were decent, but they were obviously like not made for TV, but like made for direct to video because the animation wasn't nearly as good.
Right.
Well, not only that, dude, the first one is dark.
Yes.
I rewatched it as an adult, and I'm like, I watched this as a child? This is terrifying.
Yes.
Like, we're talking legit peril. Like, we're watching children almost get eaten alive and torn to shreds by something that is the stuff of nightmares. And it's rated G. Like, what? And we see somebody's mother die. Like, we see it happen. There's a chunk missing from her back, and we see this shit. What the hell? I mean, like, it's really good, but I'm like, I don't know if I'd let my child watch this super duper young if I had a child.
Well,
I probably would, but...
You don't know another terrifying kids movie there is out there?
You're going to say The Secret of NIMH, aren't you?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Pinocchio.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Are you talking about Monster, or are you talking about when they're turning them into donkeys? Because that's another movie I rewatched as an adult, and I'm like, holy shit.
The donkeys.
That's terrifying. And I think it goes over your head as a kid because you don't really get what's going on because you don't have a concept of like something like kidnapping and slavery to that degree.
Right, but the message of the whole story is
don't be a little jackass.
Right. Well, right. Just listen to your parents.
It's a little on the nose, but I mean,
yeah, right. Listen to your parents. Go to school. Do your homework. Don't drink. Don't smoke, and you'll be fine.
Well,
you won't turn into a jackass.
Well, not only that, don't let your ego take over. Pinocchio is actually a really good movie for kids to watch, but they don't like they get it, but they don't get it. So I watch. I know we're not talking about Christmas, but it's a fun episode. Who cares? This is why they come to the Average Intelligence Podcast. You never know what you're gonna. Life is like a box of chocolates. That's another really good movie. But anyway, I got a Forrest Gump story after this. But I watched, for those of you. Some of you who watch the podcast regularly are familiar with Dr. Jordan Peterson, and he has, and they're free on YouTube, he has a lecture where he goes through Pinocchio and like dissects it, and it's fast. You'll never watch Pinocchio the same way again. Pinocchio is a brilliant movie. There's so much going on though that you get it, but you don't get it.
Right.
But anyway, so but I highly recommend you watch those. And then after you watch those, go through and watch Pinocchio again. And you'll see, like, oh. It went from one of my least favorite Disney movies to being one of my absolute favorites just because of those lectures. And he has another really good one on The Lion King, too. But those are really interesting to go through and watch. But anyway, the Forrest Gump story. Way back when I was married. Which I don't remember what year. It was around Christmas time, so I guess it's similar. We were hanging out with some of my ex-wife's, my then wife at the time's younger cousins, And I make Forrest Gump references all the time. And like I'm making all these jokes and nobody's laughing. Like my then wife is laughing, but none of the kids are. And I'm like, have you guys not seen Forrest Gump? And they're like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, you're watching it. And sure enough, it was on cable because Forrest Gump is always on cable. So when I got a bunch of kids after watching that movie making a bunch of Forrest Gump quotes the rest of the time. It's hilarious. But it was like the random one. She's like, by the battery, Alabama. I'm like, hey, I'll take it.
Okay, here's another one for Christmas. And this is what startled me because I found out my aunt has not watched this movie. And what's funny enough is we're watching it in the next couple of days. Because we know we Christmas Story.
Oh, who hates Christmas Story? I know there are people out there. Have you watched the movie? Because that movie's fucking hilarious.
She hasn't seen it.
I know, but there are literally people who hate A Christmas Story. How? How can you hate A Christmas? Do you not like laughing?
No, they probably hate it because I saw it too much. It's like, all right, I'm still tired of watching it.
It's one of the few movies you can actually watch 24 hours straight. I don't know what it is about it. There's just something, because it's so quotable and it's so... Hell, I quote that movie all the time too. That's one of my favorite things to be like, sons of bitches, Papa says.
Sticking his tongue on that pole and everything else and shooting an eye out. How dare you?
See, what kills me, again, that's another movie where like there's a couple of scenes that get a chuckle from most people, but I just find hilariously funny. Like the bit where he goes, like his fantasy where he goes blind.
Yeah.
And then like right when he goes to the line, it's from soap poisoning. And then just his parents just break down. It's so funny to me. Because the dad just, like, they're just overreacting, and the dad in particular is just like, oh.
Then you got Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho.
And he just kicks him down the slide.
Love it. Hurry up, kid. The store is closing. Oh, and then another one, and this is probably just because it reminds me of a kid I grew up with, is when they're waiting in line to see Santa Claus, and the weird kid in the glasses just like, I like the Wizard of Oz. I die laughing every time. Oh, here's a fun fact. Some of you may not know this. There's a sequel. But I'm not talking about A Christmas Story 2, that abomination. Like there's a sequel with Ralphie, who's older.
I did not know that. I
watched it. It's fun. It's not as funny as A Christmas Story. I think it's called A Summer Story or something like that. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look this up because I didn't know this even existed, but it's the same characters, same family. But he's like Ralphie's much older, and there's something about a car.
Does he do the same narrative too in the whole movie?
I think so. I can't remember though. I honestly can't remember. But yes, what movie is this? No, that's not it. Oh, it is. It's a wait. Hang on. No, that's not it. Is it My Summer Story? No. Oh yes, I think it is. I think it's My Summer Story. I could be wrong. Hang on.
Be right with you, folks. He's trying to find out.
Yeah, I'm trying to. No, that's not it. No, I feel like it is, because a guy I used to work with told me about it. I think it is My Summer Story.
Is it not popping up?
Well, it is, but I don't. For some reason, I'm thinking it's not right. I don't know, because there's the Christmas Story 2, but this one is Like this one's an actual sequel because it's I don't know. Anyway, I guess there are 2 sequels. Go watch them. They're funny. It's Christmas.
Okay. What vivid Okay, let's go with this. What vivid memories do you have of Christmas as a kid, opening up presents?
This is a weird one, and I have no idea why I remember this, but it was the year Space Jam came out, and I don't know why I remember this, like why it sticks out so vividly in my mind, but
because he's a Michael Jordan fan, that's why.
No, because I didn't get I got one of the figures, but it was the red Monstar. I don't even remember his name. The one who gets Muggsy Bowles. The one who gets Muggsy's.
Yeah.
I don't remember why, but I got that. And then there was one hilarious Christmas story I have where for a period of time we had a couple of iguanas as pets. And sometimes they would get out periodically. But one had gotten out a couple of days prior. And I mean they always turn up, but we hadn't seen it in a couple of days. Well, okay, it's so we had 2 Christmas trees. I don't know the origin. We just did. We did that for years. But anyway, on top of one of the Christmas trees, there instead of like a star or an angel, there was a Santa Claus topper.
Okay.
And my cousin points up to the top of the tree, and there's the iguana with its arm around Saint Nick. Yep. That was pretty funny.
That's your Christmas.
Those are 2 that really stick out for some reason.
Oh, okay.
The iguana one makes sense. The Space Jam one, not so much. I don't know why that sticks out so big for me.
Well, there was one year, and for some reason I don't know how it happened or why it happened. I'm just sitting there watching TV, and this hurt too. Okay. Have you ever seen the videos of like Christmas trees falling over?
Oh yeah.
I had one. We had ours fall on me.
Yeah, that'll.
Like I'm just sitting there watching cartoons and everything. No, and next thing you know, here comes the tree. Like, boom. Like what the hell? Like,
and it's coming down, and he just goes, "Oh, fudge." Except he didn't say fudge.
I didn't say much. All I remember is my grandmother and my father just
not a finger.
I was one of those ones that was lucky for Christmas. I wouldn't say lucky, but like, even though I have siblings, and I know you know this, like I was pretty much like an only sibling in my house. And so I pretty much got a lot of stuff that I wanted. And I remember I was one of those kids. I know you've seen the ads on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube where the kid's opening up his present and it's a Nintendo 64 and he's yelling Nintendo 64. I'm like, I was a happy kid because I got a Nintendo 64 for Christmas.
I believe I got one that year as well. I know I got one, but I think it was Christmas. I'm pretty sure it was Christmas. Yeah, it was Christmas. Because it was actually quite funny because it came with Star Fox 64, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yours did?
Yeah. And I played the shit out of that game.
Mine was, I got the Super Mario one.
Yeah, no, I got Star Fox because I don't think I ever owned a Mario. Oh no, yeah, I did. I somehow, some way, I got a Mario game for N64, but I don't think it came with it. I don't know.
There was a Star Fox.
I know. I got Star Fox because I had never heard of Star Fox prior to that, and I was like, "What's this?"
That game's freaking hard.
Oh no, it's not. It's easy as hell. It is.
You're on drugs.
No, it's so easy.
No, it's not.
It's so easy.
I had to watch a video on how to freaking get to another, beat this one level to get to another level.
Oh no, man! Star Fox 64 is an easy game. It's a fun game, but it's an easy game.
Yeah.
I'll challenge you for the belt to play in multiplayer.
Well, yeah, the belt that
hasn't been defended for ages. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We're busy. And it's not his fault. We've tried. We've had people fall through. Some people got sick. Actually, you know what? I'll have to... Oh, well, Eric moved. Shit. I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll figure it out. Somehow, some way.
I still got somebody who's still challenging for that thing. My family member.
Well, tell him to hurry up. Because I got next.
Problem is, we were supposed to do it at Eric's.
Oh, well, I mean, we still can if you don't mind the drive. A little drive. It's not a long drive.
What, Columbus?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Anyway, speaking of which, we want to send well wishes, season's greetings, and a lump of coal to my co-host, Eric, who is still not joining us on the podcast, but he will be back next week for all of his one fan. Anyway. I don't know. What else? What other Christmassy stuff? You a Rudolph fan?
Yeah, I am. I like Frosty too.
Like I said, I just don't. I mean, they're fine. It's not like I refuse to watch them. I just don't. I prefer different. Like this year, I made sure to add to my holiday list Once Upon a Deadpool. Which, okay, a lot of people hated it. I thought it was brilliantly funny. Because that's totally something Deadpool would do, is kidnap Fred Savage, recreate the room from The Princess Bride, and read him. Like, that's totally something Deadpool would do.
You're right.
I don't know why people didn't like it. I thought it was hysterically funny.
I mean, I know what I liked as a kid. I liked all the Nickelodeon shows. They were Christmassy.
Oh, shit! I forgot about the Hey Arnold Christmas special.
How dare you?
I know. I legitimately apologize to the universe, Arnold, and all that is good and just in our world, because we were talking about kids shows being bad these days. Holy crap! That episode was like very, very good, but
very dark.
Well, I mean, yeah, parts of it, but I mean, that was pretty heavy. That's heavy for an adult show, much less a kid's show. It's like you find out, like, they're going over Vietnam and the fall of Saigon, and like, holy crap.
The Chris, right? Well, when he's trying to get all of his presents and everything else, to me, I don't know how you feel about this. Okay, I think to me, Hey Arnold was as close as reality when they came to a cartoon.
Yeah, it was. Hey Arnold was. I don't want to say it was underrated because it wasn't. Like they didn't like the higher ups didn't know what they had. They had gold. They had like it was insanely popular, and then they shit the bed with the movies, and then essentially killed it.
Right, and then they brought it back with the one movie, but I have yet to finish.
Too little, too late, though.
I know. I like their Christmas special on him. I also like the Rugrats Christmas special.
The Hanukkah one, or that one was good too.
I think it was the Hanukkah one.
Yeah, that one was. I'll be real. That's how I learned. That was my first exposure to Hanukkah. Like, cause I was young when that one came out. Did they have just a Hanukkah one, or they have actual Christmas one? I can't remember. I only remember the Hanukkah one. Which, speaking of which, happy Hanukkah for all of you who may celebrate Hanukkah in lieu of Christmas.
All the Jews who's? Sorry.
All the Jews down in Whoville.
Yeah.
They don't like Christmas a lot.
You're right. Happy Hanukkah to everybody who is still in the middle of Hanukkah.
Oh, yeah. It is still going on this year, isn't it?
Yeah. They got 2 more days.
Speaking of Hanukkah and knowing when it is, this is another Christmas gem that I kind of found by accident. I saw it the year it came out, but I since bought it, and I make sure I watch it every year around Christmas. Is a long time ago, back when Stephen Colbert was still doing the Colbert Report. He did a Christmas special, a Colbert Christmas, and there's this. It's so funny.
I'm sorry.
It's stupid. What do you mean you're sorry?
Look good.
No, it's stupidly funny. But anyway, there's this one bit where Jon Stewart comes to his cabin and tries to get him to celebrate Hanukkah instead of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I forgot the joke.
Because it had Stephen Colbert in it. That's why.
No, this is back when Stephen Colbert was good.
He was? I didn't think he was.
Oh yeah, back in the day, he was a. Oh God, what was the joke? It was funny. It was very funny.
That's like saying
because he's trying to sell him on it, and then he's like, Hanukkah, huh? I never really thought about it. Well, you could do worse. And then because the whole thing is a song and dance thing, and he's like, anyway, Steven's like, is it merry? And then John's like, it's kind of merry. Is it cheery? It's got some cheer. But then he's like, when is it? On the 25th of December? Kislev, which is when exactly? And then he just goes, I will check.
That's like saying the one guy from The Office is funny. Sorry, I didn't think he was either.
Steve Carell?
Anyways. Yeah, that guy.
Steve Carell is hilarious.
In what universe?
Like all of them.
I'm sorry.
Dude, have you seen anything?
Yes, I have. I did not laugh.
We're not talking about Evan Almighty.
No, I know.
Really? You didn't laugh at any of The Office?
I haven't seen The Office.
Oh, well, then how could you say he's not funny?
I've seen 40-year-old version and I didn't laugh.
He didn't write that. And 40-year-old virgin's fucking hilarious, dude.
I'm sorry. I just don't find him funny. It's just like saying Seth Rogen's funny. I don't find him funny either.
Well, Seth Rogen used to be funny. But you know who the hidden gem in 40-year-old virgin is Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd is funny.
He's the hidden gem in that movie.
Did you know what his first movie was?
His first movie ever?
Yeah.
I don't know about his first movie ever. I know early on he did Clueless, and then the Leo DiCaprio version of Romeo and Juliet, he played Paris, but I don't know what his first movie was.
Halloween 6.
You know what? I did know that. I just forgot it. And you're right. That was his first movie.
Speaking of hidden gems when it comes to Christmas movies.
If you say Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm going to slap you through the computer.
I wasn't actually going to say that.
I'm just saying it's not a hidden gem. Everybody loves that movie.
I was talking about Batman Returns.
Oh, God. You're one of those
What?
people that thinks Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Judging by your silence.
Batman Returns is a good Christmas movie.
See, for it to be a good Christmas movie, it'd have to be a good movie first.
Batman Returns was a lot better than Batman and Robin.
Okay, but that's like saying that's like saying a bucket of shit is better than a pile of shit. It's still shit.
Tim Burton is a good director. You leaving that man alone.
Nah, that's debatable.
That is not debatable.
Tim Burton is horrendously overrated.
Michael Bay is horrendously overrated.
Yeah.
All right, then.
What's your point?
My point is Tim Burton is better than Michael Bay.
Wait, did Tim Burton direct Batman Returns?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. Batman Returns is an excellent movie. I was thinking Batman Forever. My bad. I got him mixed up in my brain. No.
slap you.
No. You're absolutely right. Batman Returns is a masterpiece. Tim Burton is still a questionable director, but
How dare you?
like this, Tim Burton is an overrated director. And I'll tell you why. Because you can pick most Tim Burton films out of a lineup.
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can. Everything is unnecessarily dark or dead looking. And it's probably got Johnny Depp or Helena Bonham Carter in it.
Okay, well, Helena Bonham Carter is his wife, so you leave him alone. You leave her alone.
Oh, so he's a nepotist too.
Why is that?
Because he puts his wife in everything.
So does Rob Zombie. Does that make him?
I mean, Rob Zombie's a toss-up, though, because the first Halloween that he did was awesome, and the second one was flaming bag of dog shit.
Okay, what about House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects?
Haven't seen it. I can't comment on one that I haven't seen.
Okay, well, what about the Monsters?
The what now?
The Monsters.
I'm guessing they remade something.
Yeah, he's redoing it right now.
Why?
Because he's Rob Zombie and he can do whatever he wants.
Okay. Don't really know why you would pick the Munsters of all things, but
because it's dark and scary and everything else.
The Munsters?
Well, yeah.
Have you seen the Munsters?
Yes, I love the Munsters.
It is. I mean, I guess in a way it's dark, but scary.
I mean, it's not really scary. I'm just stating because especially our good friends over at R.D. Reynolds and Vince Russo here.
I did see that.
Did their review on the Munsters' Scary Little Christmas.
That they did. You should definitely check that out. Always support RD and Russo. Well, we don't always support. We support Russo now.
To a degree, yes.
Somewhat. I'm on RD's side. Anyway, well, speaking going back to the Grinch, did you see the newest one?
I have not.
I mean, I was underwhelmed. It's not as good in my humble opinion. That is correct. It's not as good as the Jim Carrey one, but it's all right.
Okay.
A lot of the comedy in it was forced. At least I thought so. Whereas the Jim Carrey one, it's like you've got Jim Carrey, just let him run loose.
Just like when Mike Myers was the Cat in the Hat.
Well, except Mike Myers isn't funny, but anymore. Mike Myers isn't funny anymore.
I mean, you're right. He did do Shrek, so I would agree with you on that one.
Well, I know he acted. Was he involved in the behind the scenes of that though, or did he just do the role?
As far as I know, he just did the role. I don't know if he did anything behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can only give so much credit to Mike Myers for Shrek because Shrek is brilliant. Like Shrek is brilliant in a way that went completely over my head when I was younger. That's another movie where upon watching it as an adult, and like all of them to a certain extent, definitely the first two are just brilliant movies.
I don't know.
Have you not seen Shrek?
I have not.
Dude, you have to watch Shrek. Shrek is brilliant.
I'm sorry, Shrek just doesn't appeal to me.
How would you know? You've never seen it.
Because I have not seen the movie all the way through, but what I have seen of it, I just didn't appeal to me. I'm sorry.
You like Batman Forever, don't you?
I never said that.
Okay, and I'm going to defend Batman and Robin for just a second. As shitty of a movie as it was, it's comedy gold, man. It's up there in the it's so bad it's good category.
Are you saying comedy gold because Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze?
I mean, that's the primary reason.
That's fair.
I mean, like that's a movie that's not that's not supposed to be a comedy, but is a comedy.
That's why when it went from, even though Even though you will probably disagree with this, but it's not. But you can't, though. All 4 movies go together.
Yeah.
You know that, right? Okay. Obviously, the first 2 are the dark ones. The second 2 are the light ones, like colorful ones.
Well, the fourth one, by the director's own admission, was essentially a toy commercial.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's quoted as saying this.
I mean, yeah, like all the new vehicles and everything else.
The buildings that look like statues, and yeah.
And like as soon as I seen all the vehicles and stuff in that movie, it's like, oh, I want all those toys.
Plus, that movie is sexist as hell.
Sexist as hell?
Mm-hmm.
Why, Alicia Silverstone?
Well, she's a part of it, but because they didn't give Batgirl nipples. The guy's got nipples. What the hell, Hollywood?
Well, I mean...
I thought you guys were progressive.
Back in the day, they didn't care about that stuff.
Yeah, more like repressive. Because apparently girl nipples freak you guys out.
Okay, they covered her boobs on that costume.
That's what I'm saying. Sexist, man.
I remember seeing that in theaters.
That stuck out to me as a child. I was like, what? Why? Is that so like villains can give them titty twisters and like they know where to aim? And then like when they do the shot where they turn around and it's just like Batman ass, I'm like, why?
Yeah, I know. But you saw Batgirl ass too.
Well, okay, that's true. So there's a measure of equality, but I'm still torn up about the lack of female nipple. Maybe it was in the director's cut. I don't know. It too will be buried in the sands of time. I like all those ET video games from the NES.
No, they proved that it wasn't done like. Well, hold up. I just got what you just said.
It's a joke.
Yeah, that was the wrong system, sir.
Was it Super Nintendo? Or no, it was Atari, wasn't it?
Atari.
I'm sorry. Sorry I've offended you.
What's bad is we actually own a copy of that game.
Dude, you should. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it?
I've not played it, but I've seen somebody play it, online. And
it seems pretty bad.
Right, but you can actually beat the fucking game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was done.
I mean,
now I can't remember. Was it that it was bad or too difficult?
It's one of those. It's you have to remember which way to go.
Oh, that's like the freaking Star Trek game for the NES. That game is frustrating as hell.
Like you have to go to this room, then this room, then this room, then this room, then you gotta go right up. It's like the Konami code, pretty much.
That's right. I've seen videos of that. Do they have that at the arcade in town?
What?
The ET game on their
No, they don't.
Really? They got all those Atari games?
Well,
I bet it's in there.
Next time I go there, which will be soon.
You check that out and get back to me.
I am going to be going there soon, within the next few weeks. So
we'll investigate that for you viewers. And if we do find it, you can always play the ET game for Atari at Rupert's Arcade in Shelbyville, Indiana.
Yes, you can.
Is it $5 or $10 to get you unlimited play? I think it's $10, isn't it?
It's $5 for an hour.
Yeah, and then it's $10 for unlimited.
Well, it's right. Well, yeah, it's $10 for the whole day.
Yeah, like until they close, but
right. Or you can pay a certain price and you can rent out the whole building, and just get the whole building for yourself.
And it's a pretty solid arcade. There's everything. We're gonna plug Rupert's Arcade for a minute here, folks. If you like games of all kinds, go to Rupert's Arcade, where you can find a plethora of games to suit any desire you have to play. If you like pinball, they've got plenty. They've got every system from Atari all the way up to, I believe they have a Switch, do they not?
No, they just have the...
They don't have a Switch, but they've got a Wii U. I've seen it. All the game systems from Atari up to the Wii U, and tons of pinball. They've got this, and then they've also got this giant arcade thing with a ton of like old fighting games in it. I believe they have a machine. Yeah, do they? I believe they have a Sega as well. Do they not?
Yes, they have the mini. Yeah,
versions. the mini versions of Sega. So you can play your Sonic and all those other games that were on Sega, too, that nobody remembers. They've also got an NES Mini, a Super Nintendo Mini,
a PlayStation
Mini. I mean, they've got it all. They've got Hydro Thunder, where you can race your friends because they're all linked, and then they've got this car video game that Ben stomped us at.
Daytona USA?
Yeah, he cheated. I don't know how he cheated, but he cheated.
I didn't cheat nothing.
Dude, you were losing the entire race, and then at the end, you just pulled it out. It's some bullshit. And they probably have Dig Dug.
They do have a cabinet where they have the old video games like Pac-Man and Dig Dug. And
that's right, folks. You can play Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and even all the way up to Super Smash Brothers Brawl. And everything in between. Everything. And if they don't have it, you're shit out of luck. But you can play something else.
Yeah. But I digress.
Go visit Rupert's Arcade. They're a fun group, and all the proceeds go to benefit Rupert's Kids Charity, which is an awesome organization, and I do mean that wholeheartedly. I'm not being funny anymore for the moment.
No.
It's a fantastic cause, and like I said, it's a no-brainer. Like if you just want to go play video games for hours, just go there, pay $10, you're good.
Yep.
And if you want to challenge for the All Events Welcome Championship, just let us know. We'll hit up the arcade, and Ben will cheat to win.
I did not cheat to win.
You had to have. You had to have cheated.
At Mortal Kombat?
No, you flat out stomped me at Mortal Kombat. The buttons weren't working, damn it.
Well, just you. It was him, too.
That was embarrassing, man. We should have made you switch.
Switch how?
Sides.
Okay, I still would have whooped your ass.
Yeah, and then we played Mortal Kombat 2, and I stomped the shit out of you. Figured that one out. Should have done Mortal Kombat 2.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Oh, maybe that was Eric.
No, that was Eric.
Yeah, because he was like, Mortal Kombat 2 was my jam, and I'm Kung Lao, and I'm just teleporting everywhere.
Hey, I joking.
Wrong game.
I know. Street Fighter.
We've diverted a little bit from Christmas. I'm sorry, folks. But it's okay.
I think it's because of the Christmas spirit.
I've got the Christmas spirit flowing through me. It's here. It's all in this general area.
With Snoopy, that's what he's talking about. Yes.
It feels warm. I'm trying to think. What are some other like holiday, like go-tos? Like what are some mainstays? Oh, how can we forget the Santa Claus?
Yes, I still believe in Santa Claus.
No, the Santa Claus, the movie.
Oh. I just actually watched that the other day.
Dude, it gets better every year.
I actually just watched it. I was like, because I was actually talking about it to a buddy of mine. I was like, I have not seen that movie forever.
Every year I see another elf, another hidden elf.
And then I found out it was on Disney Plus. I was like, yeah, I'm watching that.
So here's an interesting fact that very few of you will find interesting, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I'm a giver. Anyway, so you remember the scene in that movie where he gets the list for the first time?
Yes.
And you remember the first name on that list?
I don't remember the first name, but I know the name that he reads off.
Okay. I guess it's not the first name, but the name that he reads off.
The name that he reads off?
Yeah.
Yeah, Armand Asante.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, he's a famous actor.
I don't know about famous, but he was at one time. But it was funny because when that movie came out, I was one of the few people, at least that I knew. I'm sure plenty of people know who Armand Asante is, but for those who don't know, I knew who he was, and I was one of the few people that knew who he was because he did a TV miniseries for the Odyssey. Like, I think that was back in 1997. Like, it was a while.
I own that movie.
Oh, dude, it's still good. Like, when you consider when it was made and probably for how little money they had.
Oh, yes.
Actually, that movie taught me how to string a bow.
What's funny about that is, obviously we didn't go to the same schools.
Not at this time.
Right at that time, but it was actually right then. That was my freshman year. So you would have been junior or sophomore?
I think a sophomore.
You was 06, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you were a sophomore at Waldron. Okay, so at Cheville, obviously I was a freshman. I did sophomore year at Cheville. Then I went to Waldron. But we actually read the Odyssey, the Iliad, in class in English, and then we watched the movie.
You watched that movie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess. It's a touch racy for a high school class, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's
It's probably the cleanest version.
But it's like it's the only version out there that what we know of, though.
Well, right at the time.
So it's like that, but the teacher that we had at the time too, she was like fresh out of college and everything too. So it's like she understood.
So she was risky. She was a risk taker.
Yeah, and she was hot too. Anyways, I apologize.
But anyway, so when I'm watching the Santa Claus and he reads Armand Asante, I'm like dying laughing because I'm like, of all the names, of any name you could pick, you go with Armand Asante. Like somebody had to know the dude,
right?
Like that had to be. Could you imagine like when Armand Asante? Because he saw it eventually,
right?
Like I like to think in my heart that nobody told him. And then he's just watching this movie, probably with his family, and then he's just like, Armand Asante? And then he just died laughing.
He's like, that was a shot.
That was a shot. Yo!
Well, I mean, he wasn't just known for that movie too.
I know. I'm just saying that as my young, naive self at the time, it was the only thing I knew him.
Well,
he's actually been in a lot.
Did you not watch Ace Ventura?
Who was he in Ace Ventura?
He was the rich guy.
Which rich guy?
He was the one that Jim Carrey and Courtney Cox go to the guy's house.
He's the French dude?
Yes.
That's Armand Asante?
Yes.
It didn't even look anything like him. Or it didn't look like him in the Odyssey. But speaking of which, that scene has one of my favorite lines in Ace Ventura. Everybody's like, be sure that you do. If I'd been drinking out of the toilet, I might have been killed. What the hell? Seriously?
Yeah, because he goes into the
yeah, I know.
Messes with the dolphin or whatever it is that he's got in his.
But it's not a dolphin. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry, folks. Not that I don't believe you. I just want to see this with my own eyes. Okay, let's see. We're getting it. We're getting it. What was the guy's name?
What, in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know she knew him real well. Crap.
No, that wasn't Armand Asante. Because the character's name is Ronald Camp, and he's played by a gentleman named... Oh, geez, I lost it. Hang on. He's played by a gentleman named, I believe it's pronounced Udo Kier.
Can I see it?
I don't know if you can see it, but...
Well, last time we did this, I could actually see it.
Oh, yeah, I just had to change my brightness down. Hang on. Yeah, because he's Ronald Camp.
Okay. I could have sworn it was him.
I was going to say, man, I was like, I don't think that looks like Armand Asante. But in honor of our friend, and because, again, it's the holidays and I'm a giver, Armand, if I can spell, Asante. We're going to go over some of his most iconic roles. Oh, he was in American Gangster? I did not know that. Let's see, what else? Oh, apparently he was in Judge Dredd.
Yes, he was.
As Rico.
That's right.
Let's see, what else we got here? He was also in the PIMP. I haven't seen it. I just thought it was a funny name. Let's see. Looks like a bunch of I don't want to say like low budget movies, but like not A-list.
He was more like a B or C list actor.
Yeah. Which again, no disrespect, but just because a lot of these are movies I've never heard of, and they appear to be. There seem to be a lot of knockoff movies, you know what I mean? Like where they take like a movie that was A-list and then they do the exact same thing but with the lower budget. And he was in Shark Swarm, for example.
And then we had Sharknado.
Which was a B movie that became famous. Like, holy crap, they're so bad. In the best way.
There's like 8 of them.
Well, yeah, because they make one every month. Oh, there he is in the Odyssey, 1997. I was right. He was in Striptease.
Yeah, he was.
Yep. As Lieutenant Al Garcia. Playing fast and loose there with the ethnicity there.
We've really derailed.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, not really. I mean, they celebrate Christmas in Greece too.
Oh, true.
See, ladies and gentlemen, you can connect anything if you put your mind to it. He was in Private Benjamin? Oh, he was in Private Benjamin. He was the French dude. So he was the French dude, just not in the movie you were thinking of. He plays Henri Tremont. Now I'm having fun.
Dang, you talk French dudes? I think of the guy from Godzilla.
What the American one?
Which American one?
The 1998 one.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that abominable piece of shit.
I liked it. It wasn't that bad.
It's not Godzilla.
I just say it's not that bad. I didn't say
it's very bad, dude. It's real bad.
I know he's not Godzilla, but I'm just saying like this.
So here's another fun fact. If you check out my channel, RTA Media, I did a video, 5 facts you probably didn't know about Godzilla, and I covered this very thing. So that movie was so horrendous that Toho Studios, the owners of the intellectual property of Godzilla, took that monster, made it a different monster. So like that movie's non-canon, but the story is that the Americans thought it was Godzilla, but it wasn't. But anyway, they put that monster, Zilla, in a later Godzilla movie from Japan, and they have a fight scene that lasts all of like 30 seconds. And Godzilla just destroys it. And I'm like, yeah, there's no sour grapes there.
Well, what's funny is when that movie came out, Godzilla 2000 came out.
Yeah, because literally, no, it was 2 years later. But pretty much the entire reason they made Godzilla 2000 was because that movie was supposed to be a springboard to more Godzilla content, and that was going to be the first one. They did such a shitty job with it that Toho was like, yeah, we can't work with this.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I get why it is. And I'm not...
To quote the French guy, c'est terrible.
It's just one of those movies to me I can sit down and watch. But I'm not stating that it's one. I'm not stating like it's a Godzilla movie because I know it's not.
No,
like the movies we have out now, those are Godzilla movies.
But here's the thing though. What it did do was it sparked a resurgence and interest in the original Godzilla, which I guess is a good thing.
Well, hey.
The new ones fucking rock. I love them.
I still need to see the newest one.
It's good. I mean, it's a popcorn movie, but if you're expecting like Oscar-worthy filmmaking from Godzilla, you're watching the wrong movies. But it's good.
No, because I'm a fan of Godzilla, and Godzilla's a badass.
Because Godzilla's awesome. Fight me. I even like the campy Godzilla, like the goofy shit. I love it.
I remember the stuff that they did back in the old days, where it was Godzilla and his son.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Oh God, what's the robot's name? I can't remember now.
Mecha Godzilla?
No, not the robot Godzilla. I think he debuts in Godzilla vs. Megalon, the android thing. I'm drawing a blank because I know it. Jet Jagular.
Yes.
Such a stupid fucking movie. But it's so bad, it's good. But real quick, because again, we've just derailed. I will say, for those of you who haven't seen it, like the original Godzilla 1954, totally different. It's fantastic. Like, that's a straight up horror movie. And when you consider when it was made, like, that was a straight up horror movie. It loses some of its impact now because obviously, like, you got to remember, this was made in 1954. This is, 9 years after the atomic bombs. Like, I mean, and in Japan of all places, like, this was a seriously, like, hardcore horror movie.
Right.
Well, I guess since we keep derailing, it's probably a good time to wrap it up, but I guess we should answer that age-old question.
Okay.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? What are your thoughts on that? See, you're going to say yes, and here's the thing. Like, I actually happen to know whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie because the director has said as much.
Okay, you want my honest opinion?
What's your honest opinion?
I think he